Today we celebrate Saint Sabas, a Cappadocian Syrian monk, founder of several monasteries, most notably the one known as Mar Saba. Born in 439 in Cappadocia, died in 532. He is one of the most highly regarded patriarchs amongst the monks in Palestine. After an unhappy childhood in which he was abused and ran away several times, he finally sought refuge in a monastery. While family members tried to persuade him to return home, the young boy felt drawn to monastic life. Although the youngest monk in the house, he excelled in virtue. At 18, he traveled to Jerusalem, seeking to learn more about living in solitude. He asked to be accepted as a disciple of a well-known local solitary, although he was regarded as too young to live completely as a hermit. Initially, he lived in a monastery, where he worked during the day and spent much of the night in prayer. At the age of 30, he was given permission to spend 5 days each week in a nearby remote cave. Following the death of his mentor, he moved farther into the desert near Jericho. There he lived for several years in a cave. A rope was his means of access. Wild herbs among the rocks were his food. Occasionally, men brought him food and items, while he had to go a distance for his water. Some of the men came to him desiring to join him in his solitude. At first he refused, but not long after relented. His followers swelled to more than 115. Over the years, Sabas traveled through Palestine, preaching the true faith, and successfully bringing many back to the church. At the age of 91, in response to a plea from the Patriarch of Jerusalem, he undertook a journey to Constantinople in conjunction with the Samaritan revolt and its violent repression. He fell ill and soon after his return died at the monastery of Mar Saba. His relics were taken by crusaders in the 12th century and remained in Italy in the Church of St. Anthony of Venice until Pope Paul VI returned them to the monastery in 1965 as a gesture of goodwill towards the Orthodox. The monastery of Mar Saba long continued to be the most influential in those parts and produced several distinguished monks, among them St. John Damascene, the father and doctor of the church, whose feast we celebrated yesterday. Today, the monastery is still inhabited by monks of the Eastern Orthodox Church. In Rome, the Church of St. Sabas is dedicated to him, and he is regarded as one of the most noteworthy figures of early monasticism. Most importantly, you got it, he was a saint. And so should we be saints. Otherwise, what are we doing here on earth? Pray, adore perpetually, become holy, become a saint. Amen. Hallelujah.